welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League. And now, please welcome your Philadelphia Eagles.
On the visitors' sideline, their head coach. His guys come in here winners of 2 straight. On the other side, the head coach of the home team. His guys came up short on the road last week. Now they're trying to turn things around in front of the home crowd here. Just about set for a start. Happy to have you with us, and we are underway here on Thursday Night Primetime. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense to take over. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
It didn't take long to see our first penalty of the game, did it?
We always talk about everyone wanting to get into the game in a hurry.
Still first down.
The officials did as well.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. Penalty accepted, and that pushes him back 5.
Still first down.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
So that flag will set him back 5 yards.
Still first down.
Now a handoff up the middle. Groves. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. They'll wind getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. The numbers for him from a week ago, 12 carries, 69 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
So certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. Looking to throw. Gentry setting up a screen for Jenkins. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. Certainly not the start they were looking for offensively, coming off that loss last week on the road.
And they didn't do their job. They're going to feel poorly about that. But what they're going to do is look at the defense and say, can you pick us up here? And let's face it, defenses can score. We've seen it, right? They can take the ball away, create a big-time opportunity. Let's see if they can get that done.
Yeah, just something to jumpstart this home crowd. So here are the Falcons now as they get set for their opening possession. And trotting out there, no introduction needed for this guy around the league. Now in his 7th season as a QB.
He enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
last week's game.
4 touchdowns with 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you were playing this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
Give him another shot.
All right, I think the ratio is pretty good. He'll try to eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up second down. A give to Robinson on the option. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That's caught. It's Coleman. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They'll run for it with Robinson. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
5-yard gain on the play. And the Falcons, first down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard.
Back to Robinson now on 1st down. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a 1st down for the Falcons.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Off the play fake. Pierce. And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands but could not hang on.
2nd down and 10.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Facing some long odds here if they hope to convert as they're well behind the original line of scrimmage. Completes it to Coleman. And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26.
It's 4th down.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So the opening drive stalls out, but the field goal does get them the first points of the night.
And 3 points not to be underestimated. How about this, right? You're on the road. You're under the lights. National television audience. This is not a dress rehearsal, partner. This is for real. And a pretty nice opening statement.
The Eagles offense and their quarterback coming out for their 2nd drive. And he's been very impactful when using his legs this year, both when the pocket breaks down and by design. You notice his name sits near the top when looking at the league leaders in rushing yards by a quarterback. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
At the 33-yard line. A gain of 9.
Off the bootleg. Gentry. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Eagles, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Back to throw. Gentry. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Herrera. from the 43. Here's 2nd and 6.
4 yards on the pickup.
Back to throw again. Open man down the field. This is Mitchell. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 32-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Up the middle they go. Groves. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Operating from the gun. Gentry. It's caught by Jackson. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 14. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Looking to throw. Gentry. He finds his man. Complete. That's Aguirre. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. 2nd and 6 from the 10. Back to throw. Gentry. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. And it'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack. And it's 3rd down. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Herrera. And the Eagles are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the...
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. Certainly there are good things about quick strike offenses that score fast, but a long drive can also work to your advantage as well.
In so many ways, Brandon, because number one, you get them tired, but the big one is mentally. They can't figure out how to slow you down, how to get off the field, how to get the ball back. They go to the bench wondering, what are we going to do next time in order to stop those guys?
The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. Well, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much, don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Looking to throw. Pierce. Here's a screen for Robinson. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Back to throw. Pierce. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. Here's Corey Bajorquez now. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
Off play action. Gentry. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guy's covering, take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Second quarter now, Falcon football. So from the 37, here's 2nd and 2. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Robinson. Here's 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Operating from the gun. Pierce. Looking for London on the out route complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
Good yardage there on the first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
And he'll go down at the 28. 42 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
First down, Falcons.
They'll run again here with Robinson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. The Falcons on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. From 17 yards out. And the Falcons are back within a score.
Yeah, this is pretty similar to the Wildcat plays that were bouncing around the league circa 2008 or so. The idea here, just snap it right to the guy you want to run with it. In theory, you're getting yourself an extra blocker. And here, that Wildcat runner is your quarterback. And he takes it into the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 14-10 ball game. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Eagles offense and their wideout getting set to go once more. And it may be time for this defense to start throwing a second defender his way, because whatever they've done, it has not worked in this first half. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They go play action here on first down. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. From the 31, here's 2nd and 3. Off the play fake. Gentry. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they need 2. Here's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 2.
Looking to throw. Gentry. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Mitchell, incomplete. It leads to 2nd and 10.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 7.
Back to throw. Gentry. And it's caught by Jackson. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Back to throw now on first down. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. Gentry. And that is incomplete.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
From the gun on 3rd down. Gentry. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. Everybody was coming on the blitz that time, and they got home.
And you know the expression, hat on a hat, in terms of blocking, trying to keep your quarterback protected? Well, if you don't have enough hats, that's the end result. Your quarterback goes down, and sometimes he goes down hard.
Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. They'll get it to Robinson to begin the drive. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33. 2nd and 9 now. He'll get that complete to Franklin. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Back to throw. Pierce. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down.
First down, Atlanta.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Robinson up the middle. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Looking to throw. Pierce. That's taken in by Franklin. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Hand off now to Robinson. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
Back to throw. Pierce. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. Pierce. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is indeed good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in this second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hold. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. So, Charles, the season winding down. Playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
It's a pickup of 6.
Now a handoff up the middle. Throws. And this is going to be an Eagles first down as the tackle made here at the 36. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
36-yard line.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
2nd down and 10.
Up the middle they go. Throws. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the trick.
Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. Clark Phillips has got it. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 6-point game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Eagles offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. Second and 2. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Quick hitter here, it's complete.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up second and 7 at the Falcons.
So halftime is upon us on Thursday night. Well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the third quarter.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaughan.
The Falcons offense ready to get going to begin this third quarter. And they got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 65 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
First down. A gain of 13 yards. And the Falcons first down.
On the draw, Robinson. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Robinson with another carry. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line.
It's a gain of
14 yards there and a Falcon first down.
First down. First and 10.
A give left side to Robinson.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2.
It's a gain of 33.
They'll run. It's Rodgers. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
Second and goal at the Eagles' 2-yard line.
Looking to throw. Pierce to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
They'll look to throw on third and goal. And it's caught. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be fourth and goal.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. On fourth down, Pierce. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. A great play there. There to make the grab.
And the Falcons take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more.
14.
So they go with a pass there on the two-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their two-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have two-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
He finds his man, complete. It's Herrera. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. They'll try the left side. Groves. And able to give one man the slip there as he works his way forward for about 3.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
They'll keep it on the ground. Groves. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory.
A gain of 2 on the play. Brings up 3rd and 4.
From the gun on 3rd down. Gentry. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
Eagles, first down. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
On 1st down, Groves. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
From the 41, here's a 2nd and 8.
2nd and 8.
Off the bootleg, Gentry. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Back to throw, Gentry. It's caught. Mitchell. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away.
It's 4th down.
Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 126 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
38-yard line.
He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 13.
Looking to throw. Pierce. And that is incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
And that is no good. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
At the 35-yard line.
Right back to him on first down. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
Off play action. Gentry. Rush coming, and he's taken down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And that is incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Well, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt.
And it will be Falcon football. The Falcons offense and running back Bijan Robinson set to take over once more. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
4th quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime.
We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 163 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
A gain of 11 on the play. 1st down, Atlanta.
Again, it's Robinson. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
Looking to put a drive together. Throwing to start the drive. Gentry. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Back to throw. Gentry. Under pressure, and they got to him again. And going the bus. It's a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down.
Boy, tough spot here as they approach the line of scrimmage. A long way to go to try to pick up this first down.
And he fires one, but incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Toss play to Robinson. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
At the 50-yard line.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They'll give him 4 yards there. And 3rd and 8 now. Looking to throw. Pierce. And it's a short one here. Complete to the tight end. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Operating from the gun, Pierce. He finds his man, complete. That's Franklin. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field.
While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
The Falcons send out their punter. They'll boot it away from about his 35. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest.
Throwing to start the drive. Gentry.
And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
Another incomplete pass there. We've seen a bevy of those. This secondary, they've been pretty good, haven't they?
They certainly have. They've allowed the 1 touchdown through the air, and they're going to be upset about that later when they watch the game tape. But other than that, they've been absolutely rock solid.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Number 89. It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
On the ground, this is Quinshawn Jenkins.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th.
And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Operating from the gun, Pierce. This is intercepted. And the Eagles are going to get it back here just past the 35. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the fourth quarter.
It certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
They have still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it. Looking to put a drive together. Throwing to start the drive. Gentry. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Now, defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was the big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw. Gentry. No, fumble, that fumble. It's out, it's loose. And the Falcons say they have it, they do. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth, it doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
So out come the Falcons now. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. They'll run it here. This is Rodgers. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
It's 2nd and 8.
Operating from the gun, Pierce. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd.
Operating from the gun, Pierce. And that one off the mark, a little late with the throw. So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Right now, they're in a bit of a tough spot here, CD. You trail them by double digits. Remember the last time out, they fumbled. They're going to have to play some clean football here on this possession.
And all the talk on their sideline has been about taking care of the football, making sure that they're handling the ball correctly. So you know they'll be squeezing the rock pretty tight here. They just have to be careful not to go so hard in doing that they actually cause themselves other problems. Take care of the ball, but still try and play free and natural.
Looking to throw. Gentry. Pressure brought in. The Falcons get there for the sack. How to approach this. 3rd down and 16 yards to go. Back to throw. Gentry. That is caught. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's good. For the Eagles.
They'll from the gun, it's Jenkins. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. First down, right back to Jenkins. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Down at the 43-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
On 2nd down, here's the option.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
And they'll find the open man. That's complete.
And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 26.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 26-yard.
He's going to use his legs here.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
2nd and 10.
Right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
An inside run with Jenkins. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Well, that is incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Gentry. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll rally and stop him short of the 1st down at about the 6.
It's 4th down.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Another carry now for Rodgers. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And the defensive penetration there blew that play up and got him 2 points.
How about how they got off at the snap of the football, got upfield into the backfield, and created the big play? That's the key to everything.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now.
The return is Reed.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line.
Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Over the middle, the catch made by Mitchell. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 1.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1.
will try to pick it up himself.
Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to fourth down.
A gain of 1. It's fourth down and less than a
Back to
yard.
throw. Oh, what a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch.
A gain of 15 yards. That's good.
Oh, what a performance. All those points put on the board. And, Charles, it wasn't just by the offense. The defense put some points on the board as well. They were solid today.
Yeah, it was a complete effort to secure the win, and both sides of the ball made big plays. But how demoralizing is it when the opposing defense can take one all the way back against you? And that was the case here. That really sparked them to victory.
So for Atlanta, the win gets them to 5-9 now on the year. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face the Panthers next week. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Five, six, 7, 8.